Welcome to Knicksfandom. This is an independent New York Knicks fan-based podcast, which was created by fans for fans. The show is hosted by LA Blackwell, Danny, and Flau. They'll discuss the issues surrounding the Knicks, the NBA, and various other sports-related topics. Join us. It's going to be a heck of a ride.
Hey, man, you talking back to me? Take them out. You gotta keep them separated. Oh, that's the Osprey people. And that was Rondo and the Houston Rockets with CP3. Had it going down. They was doing a little scuffle, fellas. Gotta talk about on the top of the hour up here. I'm your host, LA Blackwell for Knicksfandom, and this is episode 54. As always, glad to be joined by my fellow host, Danny D. How you been doing, Danny D?
I'm good, LA. What's going on, man?
Doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Being joined by my fellow host, Flo. How you been doing, Flo?
LA, I'm great today, brother. How you doing today, man?
I'm all right, fellas. Got a lot to talk about. Got to talk about the Houston Rockets. Got to talk about the Lakers. Got to talk about the Knicks. Had a couple of heartbreak losses there, fellas. And we got to talk about the NBA as a whole. So listen to Step Back for NBA Talk. And start things off, fellas, with NBA Talk. Got to talk about that Magic Loogie, like they said in the Seinfeld episode. Lakers, Houston Rockets. Y'all saw it. It was Rondo. Did he spit on him? Did he not spit on him? Seemed like he spit on him after the second tape they showed him. What y'all think about it, fellas? Who you blame in this situation? Starting with you, Flo.
I blame Rajon Rondo, a veteran in this league, an NBA champion with the Boston Celtics. He knows better. No reason to spit on another player, especially the point guard known as Chris Paul. No need for that. Anybody knows Chris Paul, you know, this guy is a class act in the NBA, real gentleman, a charitable player, an activist, an advocate. No reason for Rondo to reach that level. By the way, gentlemen, I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice LeBron didn't even go after and hold on to his teammate? He went after Paul and calmed him down. I don't know if anyone noticed that.
Yeah, I saw that. They asked LeBron in the game, so did you see what happened? He said, I ain't see it, man. I don't know. Loyalty, you know. What you think about that, Danny D? Did you see that part?
Boy, you know, they go on the banana boat and chill together. That's his homie, man.
Yeah.
You know, he know Chris D'Elia. He don't know Rondo like that.
What you want to add to that, Flo?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Lakers, I'll definitely be a little bit concerned about that. That LeBron didn't even go after, you know, help his teammates out. Helped out, you know, an enemy on the floor for 48 minutes. We know that's his boy, but still, he's an enemy on the floor for 48 minutes. So if I'm the Lakers, you definitely got to take note of that.
Yeah, you definitely do. It's early in the season, too, you know. There's a lot of these things going on. What you want to add to that, Danny D? Thanks, Flo.
Well, the thing is, you know, so I got to talk to Rondo. Somebody got to give me an email. That dude owe me about $75, $100 next week if I lose my fantasy basketball team because he's my backup point guard and he's going to be out for 3 games. And that's at least $75. He owes me right off the top. So I'm going to say, if you let me know if we can get the email, if I don't have to email Luke or the organization, I need that. I need that quick because I don't know what my matchup is going to be next week. But then also with that, we have to look at Brandon Ingram. What was he doing out there to cause the whole scuffle to begin with? Because if the scuffle didn't start, none of this would happen anyway. What was the purpose of him pushing James Harden and then going back and pushing Chris Paul? What was the purpose? Nobody hit him to initiate to do that, to have that type of behavior.
Yeah, that was a little out of character, too. He seemed quiet, but that was just really uncalled for. You just threw him on the ground, as you said, with Harden, and then do that little sucker dirty punch to me. That was a dirty move, just hitting in the back of the head while the guys was already throwing punches and he didn't even see it coming. So that was definitely uncalled for. And just for our listeners, it's been we just found out that Brandon Ingram was suspended for 4 games, Rajon Rondo for 3, and Chris Paul for 2. In my opinion, Chris Paul should have got 1, but, you know, the NBA is going to try to make an example of this to make sure this doesn't continue. And just to add on to what you guys said, I saw an interview they asked Paul Pierce about it, and he said they are known to have issues before. They don't really like each other. So he wasn't really that shocked that this altercation occurred. But the only thing I would disagree with is one thing you stated, Flo, is that Chris Paul might be good off the court, but he ain't the cleanest player on the court. I didn't see him throw a lot of low blow wrestling style on people, man, kicking people and stuff. So I'm not shocked that Chris Paul got in the scuffle. I'm shocked that Rondo spit on him. And I'm sorry, you spit on me, it's going to be a problem right then and there. So he lucky that's all he got was a finger in the face after that. At first, I thought Chris Paul was wrong. I said, you put somebody in the face with their finger, they're going to start throwing blows, but I didn't see the spit at first. You know, they kept rewinding it like that Seinfeld episode, so I don't know. But after that, there was no shot that happened. But, you know, at the end of the day, I can't say cooler heads prevail. Escalate to something even worse and involving the fans, the situation of that matter. But how you think that's going to go forward now, looking at it with this teams as they both go forward schedule-wise, and if they meet again? What you think about that, Danny D?
It's gonna be heated blood and things like that. But I say for the Lakers, it's gonna be the thing because, like you said before, we talked off air. We're gonna say how was Luke handling this, because you don't want to have a disciplinary actions of players who are veterans acting up like Flo said. Because the name of the game is you still had the altercation, but you didn't want a loss, so it makes it even worse. You're 0-2. These are things that you don't have to have early on in the season. Y'all need to sit down and presidents and get some W, and then you're gonna start dealing with the nonsense. It's cool you can get games suspended. You know what I'm saying? And y'all are winning games, and it's late in the season, and y'all winning games. Y'all not winning games. You need all your play. You need Brandon Ingram. You can't afford no mishaps because that's taken away from time that they are playing together, playing against competition. This ain't the East, LeBron. This is the West. So if you start back 2 or 3 games, you can't play catch up like you did before. It's a whole different monster on the West Coast.
No, it's very true, Dandy. What you said with that, very true. What else you want to add to that, Flo?
I'm going to be honest with you, gentlemen. I think at the end of the day, I think Brandon Ingram's time in the Lakers is going to be short. I think the Lakers will trade him for a shooter. Just my opinion. I don't think he can play with LeBron James. I think LeBron James plays better with Kyle Zuma as opposed to Brandon Ingram.
I agree, but I think more I would put Brandon Ingram at the I would really move LeBron up. I really think he should be playing power forward and let Brandon Ingram play like small or something of that nature right now. And then put Kuzma at the 2. The thing is, Pope is struggling. And he's not really doing nothing for it. He's supposed to be a shooter and getting good looks and open shots, and that really haven't happened. So to me, is either you got to move Brandon Ingram and LeBron up or move them down and then go from there and put Kuzma into starter. What you think about that, Flo?
Yeah, I'm definitely right now they're 0-2. They definitely need to. Luke Walton, they got to make some changes in the starting lineup. But again, I've lost a lot of confidence in Brandon Ingram. Here's a guy I thought that'll step up this year, but he doesn't look like he's ready for that challenge, man. You got a future Hall of Famer, the best player in the world, LeBron James, playing right next to you. You got to follow his lead. But he seemed like Brandon Ingram is playing at his own time, at his own pace, in his own little world there. At the end of the day, I still think it's a bad fit for him with LeBron. I think he's the odd man out. I think they're gonna have to move him. Got to move him for a shooter. Got to.
Yeah, I can see that. But that's supposed to be Pope. You pay him like $12 million. That's supposed to be your guy. And he's struggling. And, you know, he's overpaid to me anyway. So, but we'll see as it goes. Want to change gears for a second, fellas, and talk about what just came out with the G League. G League is offering to pay, reportedly, $125,000 to elite NBA prospect as an alternative to the present-day college day situation when they say one-and-done rule. What you guys think about that overall? And then I want to talk about them trying to lower the age limit regarding the players right now in 2022. And they're talking about letting players come straight from high school. And what you guys think about that. But first, about the $125,000 from the G League. They're currently thinking about offering these elite players. What you want to say about that, Flo?
I think with that's going to probably hurt the JBL League. You know, that's definitely going to hurt Mr. Ball, what he's trying to accomplish with the JBL. Because now the NBA, they're trying to work something out to get this resolved. The NBA has never been on the same page with NCAA, so this is a big opportunity for the NBA to go out there and get some young prospects. So it's a good thing for the NBA. The only thing my concern is, how do you determine, like, which players in your mind is elite? Like, this is where, your scouts really got to get, earn their money. Because how do you determine which player is really an elite prospect? Because there might be players that be left out in the fold with this. That's number one. And then number two, how do you determine exactly who gets to draft first? I know there's a G League draft, but how do you make that determination? In terms of what player gets drafted?
Not sure. May go by record, may go by, there's a lot of things to talk about with that. I think they're more concerned about the 2022, though. I think that's going to be it's going to be back like how they did with Kevin Garnett days and really got to, get their money's worth out of the scouts then. That's what they really were, losing them high school players coming straight to their team who they're not even going to put in the G League. But we'll see what happens as it goes along. What you want to add to that, Danny D?
Yeah, they're going to do the 125. Like you said before, they just kind of compensate from what happens going on in college and things like that. But then my thing, hear me out, fellas, the thing I don't like about that with the 125 is, like you said, what do we determine what is elite? As a player, as a high school player, I'm an elite high school player, right? I know I'm an elite high school player. So you know what? You can keep your 125. Because the thing is now, what if I go, right, and I go to the G League and you give me 125 and I don't perform like you think I should perform? My draft stock is, because now the hype is gone. I'm not performing how you think I should perform. Now I went in here in the G League. I was supposed to be ranked number 5. Now I'm going late 15, late 20. Now the money you gave me up front at the later end, my money's getting worse now because I didn't perform how you think. So my thing was, like I was telling LA, I'll do like a Mitchell Robinson or something like that, or a Brandon Jennings. I'll either go overseas for a year, or I'll just sit out for a year and just come and go to the draft. Because remember, all I had to do was be a year out if I'm 19 and play. And like I told LA and I told Flaubert, you can keep your 125 because I'm not going to mess up my stock or even get hurt.
Yeah, but then you could have the same thing that had like Brandon Jennings. It really didn't help him going overseas,
But the thing is, he didn't play. But you remember, he still got drafted, and he was still a lottery pick. He got drafted. I think he drafted in the 15, top 15.
Yeah, but it kind of hurt what you thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a higher draft pick than that, and I think they kind of held it against him a little bit. I mean, maybe might be different going forward, but I'm not sure.
That's true. But then Brandon Jett wasn't an elite player though. Everybody thought he was a guard.
Yeah. I hear where you're coming from. But I think that's for the players that really want, like, financial wise, they really need that money. And they don't even take the chance of waiting it out. Because you still can go to college and wait it out and go to, like, a coach that can be like a Mike Krzyzewski type or those guys that are connected to the NBA and actually could help you get to that level quicker if you want to take that chance. But the thing is, like you've been seeing in the news, these players are getting exploited pretty much, All these players are getting money under the table. A lot of them, I won't say all of them, allegedly a lot of these players are getting money on the table, and some have even been proven they are. So it's like you're basically paying them anyway, pay for play. But at least now if you're in the NBA, you're getting legitimate money, and you're hopefully getting legitimate, learning the game under these coaches that's going to be affiliated with the league. So I just more think it's going to be that year 2022. And one article we read before was talking about how a lot of these teams are being protected from themselves. And that's one reason why they pushed it a year up. Instead of doing 2021, because recently Miami Heat traded one of their picks, not knowing that early draft players might be involved. So they was like, that's not fair. We didn't know that was going to happen type of thing. So they basically pushed it up a year, But I don't know. It's a tough thing. It should be like baseball, like I always said, it should be a real triple A division like they doing now, which is basically what they really bought the G League for. And now they're actually really putting money behind it. So that's the main thing I've been wishing they've been doing from the beginning. Like I always said, if you couldn't go to War 18, you should be able to join an NBA 18. I'm sorry. If you're good enough, they should be able to select you. Anything else you want to add to that, Flo or Danny D? Just jump right in there.
Yeah, LA, I agree with that. If you're able to go to War 18, definitely you deserve to be in the NBA draft at age 18. I agree with that. Also, to add on to Danny's point, Brandon Jennings was the 10th pick in the 2009 NBA draft. 10th pick.
You can't go bad with that. 10? You can't go bad with that. 10?
Yeah, not as bad, but I just seem like a lot of GMs kind of held it against him, That's just my feeling about it.
Yeah, but LA, also keep in mind, too, let's not forget, we got a player on our team that we need to talk about a little bit later that was drafted in the first, I believe in the top 10 pick. Emmanuel Mudiay, Denver Nuggets, who's playing currently with the New York Knicks. So a lot of these guys, remember, he was supposed to be committed to SMU. Then remember he had the issue where, I don't know if you guys remember, he went to Primetime Academy School, which is funded by Deion Sanders, Hall of Famer, cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers and Atlanta. Find that the NCAA did not recognize Primetime Academy as a legitimate high school. So that forced Moutier to decide, listen, my parents need the money. You know what? I can't spend a year at SMU, so let me go play overseas make a little money, and then reapply for the NBA draft. So that's something you got to consider if you're an elite prospect. If you feel like you're not going to get drafted real high, you know what? I'll just go play ball in Europe, make a little money there for a year, then I'll come back and get drafted by NBA. Take my chances instead of me going to the G League, and playing for 125. When I know I can make a little bit more money in Europe in one season.
No, I hear you. My thing is I always worry about the injury. That's the only thing I worry about.
The injury, of course.
That's the biggest thing to me.
And the thing is, and one more to not to cut you off, but you got to remember, and the thing is too, that's 125 for a league. Remember, if you're not an elite player, even if you're not a high school player, you're coming out, it goes from 125 and the average goes down to 35,000. So I know you got this high school kid on my team that's making 125,000 and I'm making 35,000. I don't know if I really want to share the rock with this guy. This is me personally, from my personal intentions right now.
No, I hear you. It's a lot to go on and think about with it. And also, the players that's already in the league is still going to be against it on some level because they're trying to protect their jobs. The union was not going for that because a lot of these young players are going to take their jobs if they're coming straight from the high school. That's another thing they worry about too, which just comes into the medicals that they're talking about and what teams know more about it and how much money they're going to put it behind it. Some teams have more money to, assess these things. So it's a lot of things that's going to go on back and forth with it. And we'll be on top of it as we go forward, listeners. So, let us know what you think about from your perspective as well. One other thing I want to talk about, fellas, as we go along. Go ahead, Flo.
Let me add on real quick to that. Yeah, Moutier, like I mentioned earlier, 7th pick in the 2015 NBA draft. Remember, guys like him and Jennings, to me, when you decide to, go overseas, remember, you're preparing your body for the NBA because you are playing against professional players in Europe, as opposed to an elite high school prospect trying to make it to the pros and you sign for the G League for 125. Remember, you play against guys that are hoping to make it to the NBA. Guys in the G League are hoping to make it to the NBA. Not every one of these guys make it to the NBA. And I don't know if you guys remember, especially yesterday, G League had their draft. The number one pick in the G League draft was Willie Reed. I don't know if you guys remember. Willie Reed played in the NBA for a couple years, especially with the Pistons. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I think we mentioned him earlier. We mentioned him in a couple episodes back. He was part of that Blake Griffin deal, Detroit and the Clippers. So he was the number one pick yesterday in the G League draft. Just remember that.
Okay. That's a good point you made there, Flo. Very good point. But, listen, let us know what you think as we go along, too. I want to change gears again, fellas, and want to jump into our NBA Fastbreak segment. And for our NBA Fast Break segment, fellas, there's a few things that came up in NBA topic boards I just want to talk about real quick. And one of them was Elton Brand. He's recently named as the new general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers. What did you think about that? Start with you, Flo. I know you got a lot to say when it comes to them 76ers.
Listen, congrats to Elton Brand. Well-deserved, an intelligent man. Played in the league for so many years. Drafted by the Chicago Bulls. But again, he's working with a losing organization, 76ers. Going nowhere. Let's be honest, man. They're not winning a championship. They might even make it to the Eastern Conference Final, as far as I'm concerned. They got two guys on their team that can't shoot the basketball. So, again, Elton Brand has his work cut out for him. I wish him this, but they're not going nowhere. They're not going nowhere.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Go ahead, Danny D.
Oh, Philly. But it's a good thing for Elton Brand. He has come from an experienced basketball player. Who played in Philly. He's he went to Duke and things like that. Intelligent guy. And then a lot of people criticized their move because they're saying that there were more experienced people that could have took the job over Elton Brand. But think about it. You had people like Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars didn't have experience. He became a GM and he put together a team that won a championship in 2004. And also Danny Ainge. These guys didn't have background as GMs and they went and they do the thing. So Elton Brand got an inherited team right now. He has a real good foundation with the team he has right now, and hopefully he can get the right spot and hopefully get some shooters in there, which they really need. Say they can take the next step and hopefully they can do some good, do some damage.
Okay, I hear you. I hear where both of you coming from. For Elton Brand, to me, as they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And Philadelphia got a lot to work with, in spite of what Flo may say in his opinion. This team definitely made the playoffs last year, made a good little run. Got two of the top young players in the league to me. You already know how I feel about Embiid, so I ain't gonna go no further with that. Simmons walking triple-double a lot of times. He's a young guy. All he got to do is learn to shoot. As long as he learned that, he'll be fine. I'm not worried about him at all. Rookie of the year, so not worried about it at all. Regarding that, number one, Elton Brand, just stay off Twitter. That's the first thing. Stay off of Twitter. As long as you do that, you'll be fine. He's a smart guy, like you already stated. I heard him recently on the podcast with Zach Lowe, and, he knows what he has to do. It's all about winning, and he knows that going forward. This guy's an NBA veteran. He knows the players. He knows the league. I got faith in him. I think he's going to do a good job with them. And, just let him do what he need to do. Let him add some shooters like they need to do, some point guard play. I don't know about that Marcel Fultz move. That may be the one move that's going to crush them down the road. But they got two great players. All they need is one more to get in there. And they actually got cat space 2 going forward down the road. So, you'll see what happens as they go forward. But I like the move. I say let's give them a chance to see what happens. Fellas, another thing I want to talk about for NBA Fastbreak, fellas, real quick. Ryan McDonough, he was fired by the Phoenix Suns, and now James Jones, as many listeners may know, former teammate LeBron James, NBA veteran, will now be the interim GM, and he will oversee the coaches, players, and staff. What you guys think about this move recently for the Phoenix Suns? Starting with you, Danny D.
Yeah, I think he had to go. It sucks they had to go now that they got the draft picks and things like that. Under his reign, they had 5 different coaches, so he had enough time. Got hired in 2013. What you can do? What can you do? He did draft Devin Booker, try stuff like that, and Josh Jackson. But what can you do? Time is given up. You got to do what you got to do. Because I know Flo got stuff to say about that also.
Yeah, I know that too. I know he ain't gonna shed no tears from Ryan McDonough. What you think about that, Flo?
Good riddance. 5 different coaches, 5 years. Record is 155 and 255 as a general manager of the Phoenix Suns. Good riddance. You don't deserve an NBA job. Go somewhere else. Stay home, do something else, but you don't belong in the NBA. You're not qualified at all. In terms of James Jones, former secretary and treasurer of the NBA Players Association, helped develop the league's current collective bargaining agreement. So to me, this was a well-deserved promotion for James Jones. I wish him all the best in Phoenix. I know he's got some work to do, but they're, slowly but surely they'll get there. Slowly but surely.
Yeah, I like Phoenix right now. They got a lot of pieces. I'm going to talk about them a little later, too. They got a lot of pieces. You look at that roster, man, and they making some moves, some real smart moves going forward. Too bad McDonough's not going to see, won't see the fruits of that labor, but they look pretty good going forward with their young pieces in particular. But as you stated with James Jones, Jones is a veteran, an NBA veteran, 14 years. He was apprentice already to McDonough, and he won 2 NBA championships as well, so he knows how it goes about to win a ring. And also the thing is, he's a smart guy. He's a member of the National Honor Society in college with 3.41 GPA as well. So, like Flo stated, also his secretary or treasurer of the NBA Players Association previously. So he knows some finances. He's an educated man. And I think he's going to know and do some good things with Phoenix. He's a veteran. And that's what Phoenix really need. They got a lot of issues with the ownership, as we talked about on this show previously. So you need a player that other players in the league respect. And now in this capacity as an interim GM, I think it's going to give him some type of validity and, some accountability going forward. So to me, it's a good move. Only time will tell, though. But it's a good move going forward for them. And like I said, I'm going to talk about their roster a little more as we go on in the show. Another thing I want to talk about, fellas, real quick regarding NBA Fast Break is there was some trade rumors. I just want to see what you thought about that. And so we were talking about the Suns. They the trade rumor with McDonough, they was asking for a 2nd-round pick. The 76ers was asking for that as their point guard. They were trying to pursue him because they've been struggling at the point guard situation as we stated previously. What you thought about this deal? The Suns rejected it, but what you think about this deal overall? Asking you on Flo.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. The Suns rejected it? I'm surprised by that.
Why?
With the Suns, they desperately need some point guard help. They don't really have that confidence in the in the second round pick that they, in the Frenchman they drafted in last year's this current draft that would just pass. Forgot his name, and I apologize for that. But they don't really have that much confidence in him. They feel like he's not ready yet. So right now, it's my understanding Isaiah Canning is the starting point guard right now, currently.
I'm just trying to think. But would you have made that deal if it was up to you?
For Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I'm definitely surprised that Phoenix said no. I would figure more so Philadelphia would reject the trade only because they need shooter and TJ McConnell is a good shooter. Because we know, Lord knows that Ben Simmons can't shoot a lick. So.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh man. But the thing is, it wasn't the Suns that turned down. I believe the 76ers turned it down.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to. Yeah, I wanted some clarity in that because I thought. Okay. Well, yes. Philadelphia. Yes. It made sense for them to turn down that deal. Definitely made sense for turning down the deal. They need shooters. TJ McCullough is a good shooting point guard, so it made sense for Philadelphia to turn down this deal. As for Phoenix, listen, they got something. They got something right now, and I'm pretty sure LA. You're going to mention them a little bit later or very shortly. They just signed somebody. So.
Yeah, that's Jamal Crawford. So they're getting the veteran to help them out as well. We spoke about him as a free agent that could help a lot of teams. So like I said, they're making some good moves going forward. What you want to add to that, Danny D?
Yeah, they couldn't. Yeah, Philly, they couldn't do it because the thing is, you can't keep everything in Markelle Fultz. So you need to keep McCollum. You got Fultz as the backup. Yeah, you got to keep him. Yeah,
but the thing they have to worry about is paying him next year. At the end of the season, you're going to have to put some money out there for him.
You got to, man. He deserves it. He's playing. He was there for a while, you know what I'm saying? Trying to keep the man on board. You got to keep him. He had some great games last year.
Hey, man, Sons, I got the perfect player for you. Braun Baker. We can make it happen, baby. Come on. Second round pick. Let's make it happen. I'm putting it out there right now, fellas. Right now.
I like that idea. I actually like that idea. Yeah, I actually like that idea. Definitely.
Oh, man. They could bake in the sun, man. Come on. It sounds good already. Let's get it done. But
I like that idea. Definitely. Phoenix, I endorse that deal, Phoenix. Definitely do it.
Oh, man. I understand from both perspectives. But it's sad. You got a first pick overall, guys. First pick. And you got to keep McConnell. I like McConnell. I want him for the Knicks before I try to make a deal. And they didn't push for him. And then he actually, played well against the Knicks and destroyed them one game. But the thing is with that, it's like you got to hold on to this guy because you're scared your first round pick, first play overall is going to be a bust. That's a bad job with that, man. That's a horrible job when you think about it from that perspective. And like you said, I understand what they're trying to do. Phoenix, that's the main thing they need is a point guard with this team. Because like I stated before, they got a lot of pieces on it, but they need somebody to orchestrate this offense to get it going. And one other thing I want to talk about real quick, fellas, regarding fast break was another move I heard about. What about one thing I think about too? Would you, if you were Terry Rozier, try to get to the Phoenix? Just that's just off topic with that. Since they need a point guard, and let's say Celtics may not be able to pay him, is that a team you think that'd be a good fit for him? Starting with you, Flo.
Well, LA, if I remember correctly, before Ryan McDonough was fired, I think he was trying to make a deal with Danny Ainge to get Terry Rozier, and Danny Ainge said no, he's not trading him. And I don't know if you guys remember, before literally 2 days before the season began, a lot of these players, they get offers for an extension. And Terry Rozier turned down, I believe he turned down 5 years, $60 million from Danny Ainge.
Yeah, he's trying to get big money.
You feel like he's worth more. He feels like he's an NBA starting point guard.
I can see that, especially in this league. You want to say Danny D?
No, he proved it. And he proved it last year because you can see now at the beginning of the season, he comes in the game with so much confidence. So it's not like he's live and stuff like that. Yeah, Boston's in trouble. They're gonna have to pay that man.
Yep. They're gonna have to, and it's a worry too. We stated always with Kyrie, he has a lot of injuries issues, so got to be wary of that as well. For the next segment, Knicks Weekly Round-Up. Okay, fellas, we back. And we finally got some games to talk about, some regular season games regarding the Knicks. And we're going to start things off with the first game the Knicks had in the Knicks Weekly Round-Up, which was against the Hawks. And they had came out and played a dominant game and won 126-107 in a nice blowout. What you guys thought about that first win for the Knicks? Starting with you, Flo.
No surprise whatsoever. They start off sluggish. I believe the Knicks missed 9 straight shots in the first quarter. They were down 10-2. They finally woke up. Also, I love the combination in the second quarter: Ron Baker, Alonzo Dreer, Kevin Knox, Mario Izinga, and Noah Vonleh. I thought that bench, consistent of those players, they played well on the court. So that was very impressive. Overall, I gotta say this: certain important stats here, real quick here. The Hawks had 3 blocks. The Knicks had 6. Hawks had 7 steals. The Knicks had 12. And in the turnovers, Hawks had 24. The Knicks had 15. Overall, Cantor, Burke, Hardaway. This is the new big 3 for the Knicks right now until Porzingis is healthy. They played well. Cantor, 16 points, 5-9 from the field, 6-7 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 block, and a +7, 27 minutes. Trey Burke, again, 15 points, 6-11 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, +14 in 20 minutes. And Tim Hardaway Jr., Danny D's favorite 2-guard, 31 points, 10 of 22 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3, 8 of 8 from the foul line, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 turnovers, 2 steals, and a +14 in 28 minutes. This is the new Knicks big 3 right now until Porzingis is healthy.
Okay. Thank you there, Flo. Yeah, you pretty much stay majority of what's going on with the Knicks. Nice foundation win. And, going to see as they progress, as the season progresses as well, see where this team is going to go. What you want to add to that, Danny D?
I said great game overall, and I said Noah Vonleh playing excellent. I like it when Cantor's sitting on the bench and he's replacing. You know what I'm saying? He's doing great things. He's aggressive. He's a rebounder. And he has no problem defending and getting dirty down low. And then the Knicks need that when Cantor goes down. Overall, it was a great win. Everybody played together, rebounding, shoot the ball well. It was pretty good. A good win.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much stated everything. Only thing else I wanted to add regarding that is I really liked to play on Mario Izinga in that game. I thought he made a big difference. You saw him really passing the ball. He looked efficient. He actually could score the ball as well. Just his defense, you want him to really step up in that area. But they look really good. Alonzo taking people off the dribble. And that's what you wanted to see. But the thing is, it's hard to really go by that because the Hawks are such a bad team. And they're going to be bad going forward. You can tell. So, they did what they're supposed to do, like Coach said, and, protect their home court, and you moved on. You want to start the next game with the Knicks on. They played the Nets. And that was a heartbreaker, fellas. I saw that one in person. So that was tough to even see. And I seen that actually with Mr. Nets. Shout out to Mr. Nets. So, I had to go into Terror Dome and face some people. But Knicks was out there. We did our thing. Too bad the Knicks couldn't finish the job. Lost 105-107. What you think about that game, starting with you, Danny D?
Man, listen, you went to the game. Why didn't you tell your boy Lance Thomas to get busy out there, man? What happened?
Man, I did. I almost got thrown out. I was trying to get him. I was getting on the whole game, man. He looked worse in person, guys. My goodness. Him and Ron Baker just got ate up, man.
You know what I'm saying? Ron Baker, Lance Thomas, and things like that. Overall, we turned them over the ball. They had crazy turnovers. They had 22 turnovers, and we still lose the game. And the thing that killed us is the rebounding, man. They killed us on the boards, man. 60-41. We not gonna win like that, man. We just ain't gonna win, man. We ain't gonna win. You gotta touch your boy Fizdale about our defense. Defensively, like we all said it. What was Tim Hardaway doing on LeVert? Why? How did that matchup happen? And what's going on, guys?
Yeah, his lateral speed is not good as a defender. That's the problem. It should have been Frank on him. I don't understand why you didn't have that matchup, especially at the end of the game like that. What you want to add, Flo?
Let me say a couple things real quick. With the Nets were up by 11. What's shocking to me, like you said earlier, you're the Knicks. You had 3 turnovers in the whole game. 1 turnover in the fourth quarter, and you lost the game. I don't understand that. You were down by 11. 3 turnovers for the whole game. You're supposed to win that game. You're supposed to dominate that game. 3 turnovers the whole game and lose at the buzzer? It's crazy. Ridiculous. I want to say something real quick. Third quarter. I saw pretty much like one player going for offensive rebound in the third quarter. That was pretty much Enes Kanter, pretty much. Fourth quarter, Karis LeVert had 15 points in the fourth quarter. 15 points. Both of you guys mentioned Ron Baker. I was screaming at the TV. I was saying to myself, Ron Baker should not be on the floor because if I'm Coach Kenny Atkinson of the Brooklyn Nets, I'm saying whoever Ron Baker's guarded on defense, on offense, that person got to have the ball and go one-on-one. And I noticed Coach Atkinson brought out D'Angelo Russell back in the game when he saw Ron Baker was on the floor. And he got going, which was a smart move, you know. But again, this was definitely a heartbreaking loss for the Knicks. Heartbreaking loss. Let me say something also. Rebounds, which is the big problem here. 55 rebounds to 36. Nets, 55. 43 defensive. Knicks had 24 defensive. Field goal percentage. Knicks shot 39 for 97, 40%. The Nets shot 49%, 37 for 75. 3-point shooting. Knicks were 9 for 28, 32%. The Nets were 40% from 3, 12 for 30. And you guys hit on the head. Lance Thomas, 21 minutes, 0 for 4. Donut, no basket scored. This is not good. Definitely, this is not good, man. You can't win basketball games like this, especially when you have 3 turnovers for the whole game. Embarrassing. Definitely embarrassing loss.
I wouldn't call it embarrassing because the game definitely was back and forth. And even though it was a net stadium, you could definitely hear a lot of Knicks fans was in there. But the thing is, to me, this is going for a defeat of 3 main people to me. I'm going to blame Fizdale for this one. I'm blaming Ron Baker, and I'm blaming Lance Thomas. Lance Thomas, like you stated, Flau 21 minutes, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. That's atrocious. That's horrible. Ron Baker, 18 minutes, 1 assist, 1 point. Come on. You got to do better than that. That's not going to get it. That's not going to get it. Especially you got Karis LeVert dropping 28 points. He was killing them. He was crushing them in that. He was driving to the basket at will. It was like seeing somebody in the park just playing against them at a regular playground. It's like cleared out. And you're just driving past him. And it's like nothing against Ron, but he tried hard. You could see that, but he just had no athleticism to hang out with these guys. None. And his speed was horrendous. And I didn't understand why Fizdale brought him back. Frank was doing a good job. He was actually hitting threes. He was actually playing good defense. Like you stated, Danny D, he should have been on Dinwiddie at the end. There was no reason why Tim Hardaway hold him. He's not that great defender going laterally. You've seen that. So take him out the game, and same thing with last time. He wasn't doing nothing. Put Vonleh in the game. I was begging for him to come back in the game. But the big thing to look at that game that was good for us was Knox. Knox played tremendous in that game. He had a good stroke. You can see his length going to the basket. And that's the good thing I really look at. I want to see the growth for this guy as the season goes along. Then we saw what happened right after that. The next game, we're going to talk about that with the Celtics. But the other thing, like you stated, 14 assists to 22 assists, that's not going to get it. Trey Burke, he had to step up. You said if he's going to be part of that big 3 we got right now, which is a real small 3, but if you're going to be part of that, you got to step up and play better than that. You cannot let D'Angelo Russell do what he wanted to do in that second half and let LeVert do what he did the first half. He was crushing them. And Burke got to do a better job setting this offense up. And Tim Hardaway, I'm not even going to blame him. Because to be honest with you, he actually looked good out there. And he actually, when you see him, he got more of a little first step. When you see him in person versus what you do, at least I thought he did. A little more pep to his step, a little more. He really hit a lot of tough shots. That's the biggest thing. A lot of hands in his face, he was still hitting them. The problem with Tim Hardaway is that he's not a number 1 or 2 player. And you ask him to do 1 or 2 because KP is hurt right now. So he has to shoot more shots. He has to put more onus of the offense on him, which is good that he's doing that, but that's not his game. If KP is out there and Knox is out there, then he will look a lot better. That's the problem with Tim Hardaway right now. You ask him to do too much, and he's not that type of player right now. But Fizdale got to do better with them minutes. And he did better in the Celtics game, which brings right into the Celtics game, fellas. I'm going to talk about that real quick as well, in which the Knicks lost another heartbreaker at the end, and this time they lost 103 to 101. I want to talk about this game real quick, fellas. What you thought about it, Danny D?
Overall, they played hard. So unfortunately, Kevin Knox went down. You know what I'm saying, with the injury and things like that. The same thing, I don't know what Ron Baker was doing out there. 12 minutes, had 2 points. 1 field goal. You got him out there. 2 assists. I don't know what's going on. Well, to me, defensively, it's the same thing with the matchup, things like that. And the only biggest thing that really pisses me off and things like that, guys, man, we got to hit free throws. And I'm not talking about free throws. And I'm not talking about free throws because of Trey Burke or to the end. I'm just talking about overall. We got to make free throws. We were 17 from 27 for free throws, 60%.
That's not gonna get it done.
You know what I'm saying? The Celtics went to the line 33 times and they scored 28. 28 for 33 on free throws. We lost by 2. That's it. You got to hit your free throws. And that goes from guards to everybody. You got to hit them. At least you got to be 90%. And that's how you're going to win the game. We could have won by 2.
Yeah. Definitely where you coming from with that, Danny D. Definitely. What you want to add to that, Flo?
Danny hit on the head. But what I'm going to mention real quick, the Knicks need another point guard. Moody needs to get healthy because they need him. They really need him. More Moody, less of Ron Baker. Glue Ron Baker to the bench. I need to see Moody healthy and on the floor to give Trey Burke a breather at the point. So I need Moody to be healthy. So that's the only thing I have to say on this game. That's it.
Okay, I hear you coming from there, Flo, as well. I definitely agree with some points you made. But I just want to add regarding this game, this was the Jason Tatum show. This guy's going to be special, 24 and 14. He was doing what he wanted to do. And once again, why is Tim Hardaway holding this guy at the end? I don't understand. He's doing some Kobe fadeaways. Put Frank on him. That's why you got him. He could play 3 different positions. Put him on it. He's your best defender right now out there on the open floor. So put him on him. The other thing I want to talk about that regarding the bad start. I knew they were going to struggle because, like I said, that Nets game took a lot out of them. You can see even with Fizdale walking off the court, they was upset about that loss, which I was happy about. They took it personal, and they struggled. Came out first quarter 31-18, so I wasn't surprised with the slow start, and I think that hurt him as the game went along. Also, the guy's been really consistent, too. I just want to give him a little quick shout-out. Is Enes Kanter, 17 points, 15 rebounds. He's been a beast inside. Same thing against the Nets. He gave Allen fits. You could just see him. They was just literally clearing the side out for him. And he's been doing a real good job. Same thing with Von Lay, as you stated, Flo. 13 rebounds, 7 points. Doing a great job as well. But the biggest thing I was happy about, less minutes for Baker, like you stated, Danny D, 12. Lance Thomas had less minutes, 17. Keep the minutes going down. Tim always still did a good job for the most part. He tried, I can't really be too mad at him, 24 points. And Alonzo, he actually got some points as well. But the big thing is, gotta let Damian Dotson get some more minutes, Damian Dotson. And also let Mitchell Robinson get some more playing time. I'd rather see them guys out there instead of Lance Thomas and Hardaway and Ron Baker. So same thing with Alonzo Trier. Let him get some more minutes as well. And just gotta go from there. And just hope this team could put it together, especially as it goes down the wire. That's gonna happen. They're a young team. Young teams gonna make mistakes like this. They're gonna have to learn to win. They're gonna have to learn to play together and trust one another. And the biggest thing is they don't have their best player. KP is hurt. That's the biggest thing out of everything right now. And now Knox is hurt. And to me, he's your second best player. Offensive-wise, potential-wise, maybe Alonzo could be that guy too. But just skill-wise, I think Knox is better. So those two things are going to hurt. It's going to be hard to generate points. And that's what's going to make them struggle. Especially like you stated, their point guard situation is really up and down, to say the least. Quick opinion about these games. They play Milwaukee Bucks on Monday, October 22nd. That's an away game. They play Miami Heat on Wednesday, which is also an away game on the 24th. And then they play the world champion Warriors. Warriors come out to play Friday on the 26th, which is a home game. So what you guys think about the Knicks in the next 3 games? Starting with you, Danny D.
Damn, man. We got to wait for the 29th to play Brooklyn. That's what I think about that. Damn. And we got to hope for Monday the 29th when we play Brooklyn again. I don't know if we can get on one, man. The only one I see is probably against Miami, and that's pushing it. Because without Kevin Knox, without doing stuff like that, we're going to have matchup problems because Miami got bigs, Milwaukee got bigs, and Golden State's are the champs. We're going to have to figure some things out, man. Fizdale really going to have to coach.
Yeah, and just for our listeners, Kevin Knox, they say is going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks with a sprained ankle, in case you didn't know. So, the rich don't get richer in this case. Oh, man. And the thing is, I wanted to just see Kevin Knox go against the Greek Freak, too. Because I think that'd been a nice little matchup, man. Just as an NBA fan myself. But I hear where you're coming from, Danny D, and that may be the only other game I might see they have a chance, but right now with Greek freaking on them, they probably going to roll over them too. What you think about Flo going forward with those 3 games?
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Knicks to go 1-2 this week. They're going to beat Miami in Miami. In regards to the Golden State game, if I'm the Knicks, you have Porzingis talk to Durant throughout the game, before the game, after the game. Get in Durant's ear. What you're doing right now is you're preparing to go after him come July 1st. So I'll be recruiting him during that game if I was me personally.
I hear you, but I think we're going to do more of that type of thing in the All-Star break. That's right now. It's still early. So, I mean, hey, no time like the present, but
somebody from the Knicks got to make the All-Star. So you better hope Kevin not make the rookie game so we can try to get the KD, man.
Oh, they may not be at the All-Star player, but they're going to be at the game. They're going to have tickets to show up. You know, KP will be there. He'll just be in the stands. That's about it. But, you know, they all talk during the All-Star break for the most part. And that's when things tend to happen. That in the summer, it looks like. But, you know, KD is making them moves. But I think he's really going to worry about this season, then go from there and decide where he want to go and do from that point. But I got to agree with you guys. And I think going to be 1-2 as well. Miami, they may be able to squeak a win there. But the way the Knicks look right now, it's a lot of up and down. These teams are healthy, and they got all their star players. So that's a big thing going forward. But, you know, like you said, hopefully they get their revenge on the Nets after that, and we take it from there. And listeners, that brings us to the end of our show for today. And we go into our closing remarks. Got any closing remarks for today's show, Flo?
Yes, LAD. I want to thank you guys for allowing me part of this great show, Knicksfandom. I want to thank all of the listeners. Please tell a friend, subscribe. We're on YouTube. We're on Spreaker. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're all over the place. SoundCloud, etc., etc. Gentlemen, thank you so much for allowing me part of this great show, man. I definitely appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate you as well, Flo. Much appreciated. How about you, Danny D? You got anything for closing remarks?
Keep on thanking you guys and thank the listeners. Keep on subscribing to Tell a Friend to Tell a Friend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, dear Danny D. Much appreciated as always. Thanks again, fellas. Great show. Couldn't do without you guys. Listeners, please subscribe on YouTube and the Apple iTunes. Definitely helps. Please give a review. And lastly, please tell a friend about the show. And most importantly, keep tuning in. We'll be here for you, regardless how the Knicks doing. You know you're going to find most of your NBA news and Knicks news right here at Knicks Fandom. Stay with it, guys. Have a good one. See ya.